Within MedImpact, we are a pharmacy benefits management company. We were founded in 1989. We operate off of a secure, proprietary claims processing system. So point of sale transactions, you guys are probably all familiar with them. Swipe your card, there it goes. All that technology that happens in the back end when you're at a pharmacy picking up a prescription, that's MedImpact. Our primary role is to provide project management services and onboarding expertise for clients that are transitioning from one service provider to another. Our biggest obstacles, you guys might be familiar with this. Organizational buy-in, internal users and external users within our projects. I'm going to go into more detail about this, each one. We have high season and low season. So when we got awarded the project, it was in a low season. And they said, okay, what is your rollout going to be? Because we don't want a bad rollout. That was one of our obstacles. Additional work. We had people saying, I don't want to do more work. It's a new tool. Do I have to learn a new tool? What is the value add overall to our organization? What are we going to learn? What are we going to get from this tool? And then there were some expectations from other business units that they would get this tool as well because they did similar work. So how do I manage that? All right, so I had to think about this a couple days, a couple weeks, and I picked it apart. We did a performance analysis based on all of the business processes from some of the work that we started back in 2014, and the insight with other business units that were impacted downstream to do our due diligence. We involved those key stakeholders from every single one of those business units that would be impacted into our key decisions. And we walked through the process. Each of the key stakeholders that saw the process, they were put at ease. That, wow, one, it's not going to impact my business unit as much as I thought. Learning this tool is a lot easier. The fact that it's going to generate a work order and I don't have to manage in two separate locations is going to be easier for the team members that are assigned to the projects. Within implementations, we had a couple of strategies of how we would roll out to the organization. So at that point, I said, okay, let's go small and slow. Small meaning maybe 4 projects that are out-of-the-box cookie-cutter services, real easy to implement, and just stay within our business unit for how we develop the tool. We presented to our senior leadership the proposals for each one of these. They had buy-in. They said, yep, we agree, that would work. They were really excited that we had already done our homework to pull in organizational effectiveness ahead of time to help with some of that communication, and that the key stakeholders that were going to be impacted downstream were already engaged. Our end users. So the focus on the individual performance for our backyard in implementations, our project managers got really good at using the tools that they had, and we didn't want to make any ripples in our relationships with them or in the project itself because the client would have a direct feel, they would feel the result of that. The action taken, well, we had to, of course, secure support from the top down. That's where I started with our internal leadership teams. I said, okay, I think we've reached our max of what we can do with the tools we have. If you want to continue to bring on new sales, you have to be able to expand our bandwidth. And it doesn't look like you're giving us more resources, so we're going to only have about 7 people that can implement. So let's make it more efficient. And oh, by the way, we know we're going to get resistance to this tool or this approach because we've been carrying people on our back and doing this ourselves for quite a while. So we wanted to prepare the organization for the change and especially our internal users that were a little scared. So we shared the vision with them, the little diagram. We created other models about how the tools would work together, and they started to see a light at the end of the tunnel. From a training perspective, to help get people in the room, we lured them. At first, I probably upset them or scared them off. I said, we're going to have tests. And people were like, what? You're going to make us take tests? I was like, yeah, you actually have to show up, learn the content. Not that it's hard. Actually, if you can use Facebook, you can use this tool. That's how easy it is. And so they showed up, and then I gave them the notice, okay, I have prizes. If you guys want some prizes that were in my bag, all right, I said, you're going to get 90% on your scores. If you want the better prize in my other bag, you're going to get 100%. We had over half of our trainees hit the 90% mark. We provided our solutions demonstrations to those additional participants that weren't able to join the training or weren't selected for the first 4 projects. And then we requested feedback from our internal partners, the clients, to see how we can better push this out through the organization. Even though they were the key initial people to use the tool and practice this on, what are their thoughts? For our external clients, I didn't poll them. We had too many, but I think I have an idea. I've personally brought up over 160 clients. With that much engagement of your clients, you kind of get an idea of what their needs are, and over the years, they're very vocal. We wanted to make sure that we were able to engage those that are willing to engage in project management activities. And then we have the client set that they don't want any type of involvement because their daily life is human resources, or they're a pharmacist, they're clinicians. They have a day job. The time involved to learn the tool had to be minimal for them. It was even worse than our internal partners, because you can't expect a client just to learn a tool for one project that they're probably going to do once every 3 to 5 years. It's not a good expectation. So what did we do? Customer Collaborator does allow us to give our clients access into the files that we're using, the status. We have developed widgets for the roadmap, for the Gantt chart, embedded in there, discussion groups just for them. They get direct access to the subject matter experts that are working the project now because there is that collaborative and social environment.